The most common video content in corporate videos is the interview. Today we want to talk about positioning the subject, positioning the camera, and lighting for an interview situation. The first thing you want to really think about is the location, preparing for where you want to actually shoot the interview. You have to pick the right location, and that usually is going to be a large room, relatively free of noise and distractions. Make sure the room has access to electrical outlets and the ability to move furniture if required, because many times you'll have to move things around to get enough room to go ahead and shoot. Find a backdrop with some visual interest, but not so much interest or complexity that it distracts the viewer. Company logo signs, plants, floral arrangements, or a framed picture all work very well. Finally, you need 2 straight back chairs for the interview. You don't want chairs with wheels, you don't want chairs that squeak, you don't want a big plush couch, all for obvious reasons. They distract in one way or the other. Now let's talk about positioning the subject. Now that really depends on if we're talking about 1 or 2 people. If the interviewer is unimportant, position the person being interviewed in a straight back chair facing the camera. Now position the interviewer next to the camera, and there's about 4 to 5 feet distance between the 2 people. If the interviewer and a person being interviewed need to be on camera, a little different setup. Position 2 chairs at angles to one another. This allows the people to have eye contact but still be open to the camera. The chairs should be 1 to 2 feet apart, so there's not much negative space between them. Next, position the lighting. And this depends on whether you're lighting for 1 or 2 people. If you're lighting only the person being interviewed, use traditional 3-point lighting technique. If you're lighting the interviewer as well, use 2 key lights. That provides wide illumination over a larger area. With either setup, you can be ready to shoot an interview in about 20 minutes. Finally, positioning the camera. The camera should be positioned anywhere from 5 to 10 feet away from the subject. Remember, if you're only shooting the person being interviewed, the interviewer is going to be on one side of the camera or the other. Make sure they stay there and don't lean into the shot and obscure what you're shooting. Now, everything we've talked about, positioning the camera, positioning the subject, having the right lighting, and finding the right room, are all critical to having the best interviews possible. Interviews are a building block in any kind of corporate video. If you do these things, you'll make sure that your videos always turn out well.